So are you an athlete that has had back pain while you were training or outside while you were training? That's what I had. The reason that most athletes have back pain is one, because of faulty movement, and two, because they don't know how to brace properly. So it's literally those two simple things are the reason that most athletes get back pain. That really matters because the reason I had back pain was because I was doing an exercise called clean pulls, and when I did those, I did them wrong because I would have the bar too far out from my body, so then that would put more pressure on my back. So that was the reason I had back pain in the first place. But then when I started focusing on learning how to brace my core, I improved my technique as well. That is when I was able to remove that back pain, since I actually worked on it, maintaining focus with it, like trying not to, just mess it up basically. And when I did those clean pulls, like only a few days later, I did deadlifts, and then I deadlifted with good technique, not using too much weight. My back felt better after that because also before that, I worked on my bracing. So, one of the simple ways to really back off from the back pain is stay away from what hurts and then work on your bracing. Because when you're working on your bracing, your back is still. Because, well, this is mainly for when your back pain is because you are going into a certain motion. So, if you're going into flexion and your back pain hurts, then that means you have back pain when you're in flexion, and you have to avoid that. So, you avoid movements that could possibly trigger that, basically. And so same thing with, like, if when your spine is extended, that it hurts. So it's those simple kind of things. And if you can, find an alternative, but make sure what you're doing is not so intense that it then causes your back pain, if it's something that could cause it if you go too heavy on, because an alternative to an exercise has to be somewhat similar to it. So unless if you literally can, like if you're like a hinge motion, like if you do RDLs, deadlifts, or glute ham raises, something like that. But that's just an example. Also, something that I did and I still need to do, because I still have kind of a roundish back. I need to practice, or you need to practice. We both need to practice posture just throughout the day. Know what good posture feels like. You have to learn what good posture feels like. If you don't know what that feels like, it's basically you're kind of just extending your spine. Like imagine as if like there's a string right here and you're just doing that, and then you kind of have your shoulders back and down, and then your core also would be like tightened up a little bit. That would be good posture. But well, that doing that would put you in good posture, but you can still get in that posture without having to do that. So that's why you have to actually learn good posture and practice it as well. Obviously, if you know good posture but you don't practice it, then it's a very simple thing. Just you just kind of do it throughout the day. You got to remind yourself. That's the thing that people have a problem with, is that they don't remind themselves of things. They don't like plan it before or something, like, or like at least have it as an idea, like, okay, I'm gonna do this later. You know what I'm saying? First, I want to talk about bracing here, and then there's a next step after that. Basically, when you're bracing, if you want to practice how to brace it, there's a very simple routine that is, like, not, I wouldn't say everywhere on YouTube, but you've probably seen it or known it or seen it before. It's the McGill Big Three. That is probably one of the best things you could do if you do it properly. And also learning how to brace. I learned this one from Squat University. Have your thumbs clasped around your sides, and then just learn to breathe in your stomach, and then you just brace. Like, you when you're practicing it, you don't have to brace that hard, because like right now I'm not bracing that hard. Like the difference, like that is like something you do before you do a squat, which I was doing today. That's the way you can practice proper bracing. It's more so the practice of it and getting strong enough to do it, and then getting stronger as your lifts get stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have to lift more weight, so you're gonna need this to be very strong, so you don't get problems again. And if you're lifting with good technique, means you're not lifting with that much weight. That's why it's power lifters are much different. They're trying to lift as much weight as possible. So if their back goes into a little bit of flexion, that's not gonna matter. But then that shows how strong they actually are, that they can lift that much weight without anything like breaking. You know what I'm saying? So that shows like true, like absolute. That is absolute strength. What we train, if you want to dunk as like you try and dunk and jump as high as you can, is relative strength. That's what you want to work on. So you always want to practice that before workouts. You always want to practice bracing before workouts, so then you know how to properly brace, because what it does when you practice bracing, you know what it is to properly do it. And then once you do that in your lifts, then that's when your spine, you learn how to do it with the movements. It's like a combination. So that's pretty much what I did, and this is more so if you're an athlete and you get pain in certain positions. If you have back pain like constantly, and you don't know what to do about it, you could probably still use the same way, depending on, like, if your back pain is that bad, but that's the reason, then you could just, because when something is that bad, that's when anything is gonna make it hurt. Then that's when you just need to rest, like literally just rest, let your body recover. Don't do pretty much too much of really anything, just kind of like basically like try and just rest. And then you could still probably feel the pain when you move your body, but that's kind of your body signaling you like, yo, there's too much pain here, we have to fix this up. And then once you're able to actually do some kind of sport activity, then that's when you can practice that and then get better over time, over time. It's going to be a very slow process, but it's going to be very progressive. Pretty much my experience with it and how it could help you. So if you did enjoy this and you found it valuable, like the video. If you want to check out my other content, if you want to see me on my journey to dunking on 10 feet, which I should be able to do by now, but I don't have access to a 10-foot rim, so that's probably gonna take forever. Um, but you'll still probably see me dunking in the future. Probably not now because I'm training really hard at the moment. So uh, it's gonna, vertical is gonna go down, but you can check that out if you want to see more tips like this as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.